If you are a legal professional, a law student, or as a matter of fact, any other student, you will most certainly be denied a credit card if you apply for one. Sounds a bit unfair, but unfortunately, it is true. Hello and welcome, everyone. And through this informative session, I will try and share my experience with you on how you can get a credit card just by sitting inside your homes and without even going to a bank or wasting time in unnecessary paperwork. But before I start, many of you may think that why is it so unfair towards the legal professionals? How can this happen? Uh, uh, I will soon make a detailed video on this and share with proper proof why I'm making such a big claim. Until then, I encourage you to try this for yourself. Just try and fill out a credit card application. Don't fill that you're a student or a lawyer or a law student. Just mention that you're a salaried professional, and when you get a call from them, you will realize the moment you mention that you're from a legal background or uh, you're a student, they will definitely deny you by giving some or the other excuse, by saying that sorry, unfortunately, we don't have any service for you, unfortunately we cannot do anything at this point of time, or you must go to your bank and they will help you with a credit card application. So this is something that you will most certainly hear, and I encourage you to try this for yourself. So, before I start this session, I just wanted to ask you, why is it so unfair towards a lawyer? I mean, why is it so unfair? Can anybody think about it? Why is it so unfair? I mean, they ask you everything. They call you, they ask you your name, your age, your PAN card, everything is there. You say, okay, I work at a law firm, or you mention any legal connection whatsoever. And then you know what you're going to hear. Now, some may ask, why lawyers? Uh, what is in the case of senior counsels? I mean, there are so many senior counsels that are there, and do they also get denied for a credit card, or what happens in their case? Uh, to be honest, I don't think we should consider the examples of senior counsels at this point of time, because they are someone with a long practice and a different type of a slightly different as compared to those who just joined the profession or are currently working for just a few years. So it cannot be compared, they cannot be compared at this point of time. Another so also but just by answer, just I'm just going to try and answer your question, that why does this happen. See, there can be various theories on this. The first one being that they don't have a fixed source of income. So a legal professional, for example, if you're into litigation, you may not have a fixed source of income. It is possible that in 1 month you may earn in lakhs. It is possible the next month it may fall down to two or three or maybe a couple of thousands. So it's just a theory. It is just what we hear. Another is it another one could be that it is slightly difficult to make them pay if they try and default on their bill, which somehow uh, you may, and it is, and more importantly, it is much more difficult to win a case against them. So that, I suppose, can be one of the reasons, and which is again a theory. Some of you working in the district courts may understand, try to understand what I mean when I say this. And thirdly, which I somehow believe may be correct, it may be, I mean, I'm not sure, but it may be correct, and to this most of you will agree, which is it is very difficult to cheat a lawyer. For example, as in case of a common man, when you get your credit card bill, the bank may levy any charge on you, any, even 50, 100, or any, as amount of fact, any amount of charge. And a common man may just, okay, ignore it, okay, fine, it's just 150 rupees, it's okay, I'm just going to pay and get over with this. Who's going to get into difficulty of fighting with them and get taking all those troubles? But somehow a legal professional may not do that. He or she may know his rights and may just know how to answer the company or the bank in the right possible way, or even just file a case against them. So it is possible that it is difficult to cheat someone who is working as a legal professional, which I somehow believe that it could be true. But I can say this as in certain cases, it is possible that, if you have a very good relationship with your bank, it is possible. Then it may be an exceptional case and you may end up getting one. But I will most certainly assure you that on call, you will get the same answer what I've just mentioned to you. So if you want, you can try for yourself, and do share your feedback in the comments below. Now, coming to the point, do you actually need a credit card? What are its benefits? What are its drawbacks? I will just try, or is it that it is just a waste of money or waste of time? I will just try and answer all those points in this informative session first, and then I will come to how you can get it. Because if I simply just tell you how you can get it, and don't pay attention on the relevant and important points, and if you happen to be a first time credit card user, and if by chance you happen to have a bad experience, you will just come back here and share that you did not have a very nice experience, and it may not turn out to be well for you. So it is very important for me to first mention the do's and don'ts that you must keep in mind while using a credit card. Also, uh, what are the ways by which you can be cheated, and basically everything, and also more importantly, whether you need a credit card or you don't need a credit card. So let's first discuss the don'ts, that certain things that you must not do while using a credit card. But before, let me try and explain you how a credit card works. So let's first try and discuss what is exactly the concept of a credit card, and how because most people are confused about it. They feel that they just need to pay an extra interest on the monthly bill. So many people feel that they need to pay very high interests if they use a credit card, which may not be a case in under normal circumstances. So a credit card is given by a bank to a person. You can use that card for a month. You can, from the 1st till the 30th or 31st of every month, you can use that card. And then at the end, on the last day of the month or any particular day, your bill will be generated. Basically, by the end of every month, a bill is generated. Then you will have another 15 days to pay that bill. So that is how it basically works. And if you for some reason do not pay, if you do not pay that bill within that stipulated 15-day period, it is going to happen that you will be charged a very high interest, even if you delay by just one day or even just by an hour from what has been told to you. Now, many of you think that why would a bank give a credit card to a person? I mean, why would they just give you a credit card to shop for a month and then pay for you? And why would a bank do that? Firstly, banks earn in various ways. One of them being the late fee, the late penalty, because many of the first time users end up paying a late fee because they themselves aren't sure about the rules and the regulations. So it is possible that majority of the first time users are not sure of how to of regarding the deadlines, and they may end up paying the bill late, and as a result they are levied a penalty. And that is one of the way how the banks end up earning. Now, if you're levied a penalty, what will you do in such a case? You will write a mail to the customer care. No, I'm a wrong customer. I am with you since such a long time. It's been so long. Please ignore this mistake. I will not repeat this mistake in future. No attention. They will pay no attention to all your mails whatsoever. And in the end, you will realize that you have to pay. You have to pay that late fee. So this is something that I really want to put this before you, is never default on a credit card payment. Just make sure you pay it within the stipulated time, because even if you default one payment, it will mess up your credit score, which I will discuss later. What is a credit score and why is it so important? Okay, which brings me to the first thing that you must pay attention first, and the first most important thing, which I've just mentioned above. uh, Please make sure you pay your bill on time, because if you do not do that, and even if you delay by a single day, it is possible that your credit score will fall. Don't fall prey to any schemes, EMI schemes, that that tell you that okay, pay this to that. Just avoid those schemes, and make sure to pay your bill on time. Secondly, do not fall no temptation. Please do not over purchase. Always purchase what you can afford to pay back within the stipulated time, because if you overshop, so for example, if you're walking in this mall and you see, oh, that bag is so nice, oh, that wallet is so good, oh, I don't mind buying this clothes from a high-end designer. You end up buying that because you have a credit card. Because you have a credit card, you're not paying it, you're just swiping the card and buying that. But a time is going to come when you're going to have to pay back that money, right? So one thing which I would strongly suggest is, if you feel that you're a spendthrift person, that you like spending a lot and you cannot resist temptation, I suggest don't go for it. Very honest and humble opinion to you. Thirdly, no social service. Please do not do social service using a credit card. And by social services is by mean that you have a friend, a very good friend, and he asks you, for some shopping or any kind of money for paying us something, and then you use a credit card and pay for him, and then your friends assure you, then your friend assures you that he's going to pay you back within before the last date. If by chance he does not do that, I assure you आपकी दोस्ती तो खराब होगी, credit score bhi kharab hoga, because if he does not pay you back, it is possible that you may not be able to pay back your bill, and then it is in the end you who will suffer. You will lose your, it will affect your friendship, and also more importantly affect your credit score if you do not pay your bill on time. Thirdly, and most one of the most second important points which I feel is fraud. Avoid any unsafe sites, and just avoid sites which are a bit unsafe. So just avoid those sites. And if for some reason, if you are cheated, I will suggest you what to do at that point of time. For example, it may happen that you get a notification saying that a certain amount of money has been deducted from your credit card, or your card has been used at so and so site. What you do is, don't fight with the wherever your card has been used, or or that person. As a matter of fact, the first thing you do is you intimate your bank. You intimate your bank that, see, within 24 hours, as soon as possible, you intimate your bank that, see, I have not done this transaction. uh, and then it is possible that the bank may stop, or Visa or Mastercard or whichever card you use will stop that transaction. Let me just quickly explain you this concept of Visa and Mastercard as well. So a bank, so the card is provided by Visa, Mastercard, so these are basically service providers, and your bank, the credit card is given to your bank. Now when you shop, so this is Visa, this is your bank, and this is you. So when you shop, the money is debited from your bank, and it goes to Visa, Mastercard, or the service provider. And that service provider pays that merchant from where you made the purchase after 3 days. So for 3 days, that very moment, the money is deducted from your bank account, and the money is there with the Visa, Mastercard, or so the American Express, with these companies for about 3 days, and then they send that money. They cut a commission about 2.5%. They don't charge you, they charge that merchant. So they cut their commission of 2.5% on every transaction approximately, and then they pay that merchant that his amount after 3 days. So that is again one of the reasons why merchants don't say that you pay by cash. They just avoid credit card payments, because, or even debit card payments, because if it's a Visa or Mastercard, they know that they will end up losing 2.5% of as conversion charges, as transaction charges. So you don't lose that amount, but the merchant where you shop, he ends up losing that amount. So therefore, I'm seriously suggesting you that whenever you realize a fraudulent transaction, just make sure you call your bank and intimate them and send them an email saying that, see, I have not done this transaction. Now, a downside of this could be if you are somewhere in a foreign country, or somewhere at a place where you need your credit card, and if this results in blocking your credit card, just make sure that you have a backup option. Or if that amount is not very, it's not a high amount, so just take the call. It's totally your decision. But the correct suggestion I'm suggesting you is, that is the right process. Instead of fighting where you've lost your money, just inform your bank and tell them, see, I've not done this transaction and it has just happened. So that is all. Just keep that thing in mind. The fifth point is, just don't buy a credit card with the purpose of showing off. Just you buy a high value card which has a limit of 1 lakh, 2 lakh, or very very fancy card, just to show off. If you know that you're not going to end up using it, just don't buy it, because it's of no use. And so that is, you will end up wasting your time on it, because that is the reality. And apart from that, one of the most important point is, in the end, one of the very important point for first time users is, the moment you get your credit card in hand, or while you're getting it, check what your monthly billing cycle is. What is the last date? What is the due date? What date your credit card statement will get generated, because it gets generated after 1 month. So what is that date? Is it the 31st, or is it if you've purchased it during the mid of a month? So what date is your credit card statement going to get generated? Personally, my statement gets generated on the 15th or the 14th or the 16th. So I know in the mid month for the previous month, the statement will get generated. So you make sure that what is that day when your statement will get generated, after which you have 15 days to pay the bank. So make sure you know that date, and also you know one thing, how will that statement reach you? आपके पास वो statement कैसे आएगी ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Will it reach you by post? Will it reach you by email? That thing you must know. Often it may happen that, while filling out a form, the terms and conditions are mentioned that for the first 3 months the statement will come to you by email, or for the first 3 months the statement will be free of charge, and from the fourth month onwards we will charge you for the statement by post. So just make sure that you know how your statement will reach you, because it is possible that you the first month gets over and you realize the statement does not come, and you're happy, ha 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 ha, बच गया, पैसे नहीं देने पड़ेंगे अब. So you might think that, कि bank statement नहीं है, तो that means no money. So then you may just forget about it, and what you will realize after a month is your card is blocked, because after your due date you will keep getting an interest charge, and of course you will not pay that interest as well because you do not know about it. And very soon your debit your credit card, it's going to get blocked by the bank. So the two possibilities are saying that it is possible that you get a statement by post and someone has misplaced it at your home. That is one possibility. Another possibility is, which I have just told you, that it would have been sent to you by email. It is somewhere lying in your spam folder or somewhere in your mail, and you do not know about it. And you cannot, and you're also now accountable for it because you yourself have signed the terms and conditions saying that what it is. So while signing the terms and conditions, it is mentioned over there that how do you plan to receive your statement? Is it by post, by email? So just make sure first thing, if you don't do it while signing, just make sure you do it as you get your credit card and you have that in writing. That is exactly what I did, because I have already seen people making that kind of a mistake. So they take a credit card and they just delay, and bank will never forgive you. They will just, no matter how much you write mails to them, you convince them, they will not spare you, because that is how they earn. That is how they end up earning. So why would they spare you? So the first thing you must do is, as all I also did, is just I wrote a mail to the customer care asking what is the due date and what is by when can I pay. So that is just make sure you keep that thing in mind. Also, one more thing. Once what happened was, my due date, my last date was just the next day, and the last night I was trying to make a payment, and the system got hanged. Now what do I do? If I do not make the payment, the next day I will get an interest. I will be charged an interest, and my score is going to get messed up. So I took a screen recording of that error that was happening, and I wrote a mail to the bank saying that, see, this is the screen recording, I'm unable to make a payment, so it is a technical default. By chance, after a couple of hours it got sorted, but I had a proof with me. I immediately screen recorded that thing, because, see, being lawyers and law students, I'm sure we understand the value of evidence. We understand what value evidence holds in a case. If you have the evidence, things are going to be in your favor. But if you do not, and just rely on hearsay that this happened, that happened, this is that thing which you must always avoid. So just keep that thing in mind, that you have everything on email, and that's all. And most importantly, now, what credit score I was mentioning in the top, if you delay even one payment, your credit score gets messed up. So if you do not have a good credit score, you will be denied certain benefits, you will be denied further upgrades, you will be denied a loan or something, which is I will discuss in the benefits. So your credit score ends up getting messed up even if you delay one date. And credit score does not develop in a month or 2 months. It takes 6 to 7 months for you to develop a good credit score. A credit score is something in which a person pays regular payments, and now the bank knows that, see, this person has been making good regular payments, he's well to do, and therefore they give him a good credit score. And there is always a minimum credit score for applying for better cards and for further loans or anything. So that really affects your credit score, and you may not get upgrades, and you may be denied a loan, which is one of the benefits of making a good credit score. So just keep in mind that even you delay one payment, your credit score will end up getting messed up. Now, let us come to the benefits. See, there are a lot of drawbacks, but personally speaking, I myself use one, and many people do. So, if you know about the drawbacks, and if you keep certain things in mind, and if you feel that you can enjoy the benefits, I think it will be a good opportunity for you to go ahead. There's no harm because I'm going to just be discussing the benefits. Again, take your own call. Now, first benefit, it's got you covered during an emergency. You end up getting in, you are in some, there is a medical emergency and you need money. So you can just swipe your credit card and probably it's the 14th of a month, and you get your salary on the 31st. So then it's a whole month. So you can use your credit card, pay for that medical emergency, and by the end of the month, as you get your salary, pay for that pay that particular bill. So that is one thing. It's got you covered during emergencies. If you're traveling, if you are various things, most sites at times often ask you for a credit card. So credit card is something which covers you during emergencies. Second thing, a good credit score. I've just explained to you what a good credit score is. It can only be obtained by using a credit card for 6 months. So a good credit scores helps you get loans from banks, and often for those of you who wish to apply for either visas or permanent residencies or citizenships. So a good credit score always shows that, see, this person is reliable and has a good standing in the society. So that is always an evidence for the fact that this person is okay. It's a okay, all good. So yeah. Third thing is again offers. So there are a lot of offers that are offered by credit cards, uh, discounts, certain things, and a lot of things. So don't suggest you just get the credit card for those offers. I mean, don't make that decision. But yes, of course, as you get a credit card, do make sure you take benefit of all the offers. As on your spendings, you get some points that are into payback points that you can use, and you get certain discounts, you get certain vouchers, and based on your spending, you slowly get certain benefits. So don't pay attention to the benefits in the initial phases. In the first initial 6 to 8 months, pay attention on just using the credit card and paying bills on time. This is one thing which you must keep sure in mind, which is my next thing that you must keep in mind. It Just keep in mind that you pay your bill on time, and that does not mean you have to shop for thousands of rupees every month, or you know what. Just even if you do one transaction and pay the bill for that transaction in before the due date, you end up making good score before within 6 months or 6 to 8 months. And last but not the least, the major benefit is interest free payment. So technically, for 1 month and the next 15 days, you have that money with you. So you don't have, I mean, you can use that money. So if your credit card has a limit of 1 lakh rupees or 50,000 rupees, you have that 50,000 rupees with you, and you can use that, while that 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees is in your bank and is getting an interest over there. So while you use this for a month and a half, you always have that benefit in your hand. Most credit cards are interest free, but still have a look at the terms and conditions while you apply for a credit card. Now we come to the most important point. How can you get it? Because I've clearly mentioned that if you are a student, a law student, as a matter of fact, any student, there may be certain categories, but legal categories definitely there. So legal professionals, yes, again, it is very difficult, especially for those who have just started their careers. So how can you get a credit card? Because the first thing they ask you is, what is your credit score? आपका credit score क्या है? And if you do not have a good credit score, there is no possibility of getting a credit card. Now, how do you show a good credit score if you have never used a credit card? So that means that you have no good credit score and you can never get a credit card. Now, I will suggest you two banks which I have done ample amount of research on, and I suggest can help you get a credit card right from the comfort of your home. You do not need to engage any paperwork, nothing you have to do. Just make sure you get a credit card for them, build a good credit history for about 6 to 7 months, and then I'm sure you will get upgraded for further cards or certain benefits. And the two banks are ICICI Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank. Both the banks offer the same type of facility, more or less similar. With both the banks, you can get a card right from the comfort of your homes. I personally have used one of this, so So therefore, I'm suggesting it. So you can get a credit card right from the comfort of your homes. All you have to do is create an account, and that account should be FD account, so fixed deposit accounts, because the card that you're going to get is against a fixed deposit, and the minimum amount for that fixed deposit can be 10 or 15,000. It's 10,000 ICICI and 15,000 in Kotak Mahindra. Listen to me carefully. So you do not have to pay. It's basically a zero balance account. So it's called an FD account. It's a zero balance account. All you have to do is you don't have to just as you open the account. In order to get a credit card, you have to make an FD. FD can be minimum 10,000 to 15,000. If you're a student, I seriously suggest you make it for 15 or 10 15,000, not more than that. If you feel you can slightly make it at a slightly higher amount, make it 20 25. Don't exceed beyond that limit in the first month, because in the first month I myself did this for about 18 to 20,000. So which is not too less, not too much. So if you can afford it, make it for about 20,000. And if you're a student, just go for 10,000. Deposit that amount as an FD, and against that FD, it can get automatically done. You can do it online itself, and based on that FD, you'll get a credit card. So I got my credit card within 7-10 days of opening my account, because in the fourth day I get my debit card, I apply for it, I create an FD, and in the 10th day I have my credit card, which was a long time back in hand. Being a student, I think you can compare the benefits. Somehow ICICI is slightly better, as it offers you some movies and some other things which Kotak Mahindra may not. So I suggest you take a look at both their benefits and take a decision. Take a decision based on what you think is right. So I have suggested you both options, and now it is completely your decision of which one you would like to go ahead with it. I would like to assure you that this is not a sponsored video, and if you come across any other banks which offer the same services, please make sure you let me know in the description below. And if you happen to use their services, please make sure you let your experience down in the comments below, so that for those people who are yet to start using it, they have an option before themselves. They know of what they're getting into, because personally I have a good experience, so therefore I'm sharing my experience with you, because according to me, this is one of the easiest ways for you, for any student, for any legal professional, to get a credit card. Get a credit card against FD, use that, and make sure to pay the bills on time. And the security that the bank has is your FD. So in case if you don't pay on time, the very next day they break your FD. So make sure that situation doesn't come. And again, I've mentioned that please do not go for a credit card if you have those certain things. Please have a look at the video above. That is the main reason why I have made this video as informative as possible, and as informative as I can, so that I can tell you all the things. What are the pros? What are the cons? What are the benefits? So I have tried to tell you each and everything in detail. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. If you have any questions, any comments, anything whatsoever, please don't forget to leave your questions down in the description, and down in the comments below. Comment box is absolutely yours. And whatever doubts or whatever questions you have, I will most certainly answer those questions. And if you somehow found this video as informative, if you found this video worth your time, I had a personal target of making this video within the time span of 30 minutes. So I suppose I'm very much on time. If you happen to like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, because that like button is going to motivate me for creating more such content for you. Not that if you don't, I mean, it's just a thing that always motivates me to create more content for you. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. If you have any doubts, I will be more than happy to answer them. And if you feel that you would like to share this with your fellow students or fellow lawyers, so please make sure to suggest and share this video with them as well. And last but not the least, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice remaining week, day, month, all of you. So thank you so much for watching, and do take care, very good care of yourself, and do take good care of yourself. Thank you so much.